morning, everyone. It is Tuesday again, the day that I stamp one of my cards live. It's called Casing Tuesday because we actually take a card from one of the current Stampin' Up! Catalogs and we copy it. Good morning, Catherine. We take this card and we change a few things about it, or we copy it in the exact same manner as it is in the catalog. And it's a great way to improve your stamping because you probably eventually will come across a card that is not in your comfort zone. And so it's something that is harder to case, and you have to make changes and you have to try and work with it. Last week I had a lot of fun looking at everyone's cards because I think you guys did a better job than I did on my cards. So I was like, oh wow, you guys really found ways around using these small strips of paper, and I thought that was really cool. I really enjoyed seeing your cards last week. So that's the great thing about this. This is me live today. I'm showing you my card. And I hope you will join me on our Facebook group where we share, where you can share your cards and I can comment on them and I can learn from you guys too. So it's nice. It's kind of like I'm sharing, you're sharing. So it's a great thing. You might hear some pounding in the background. My neighbor is building a house, and it is like, I don't know how much of that actually gets on the tape, but if you hear loud banging noises, that's not my crazy family. I actually have a very calm family. It's the noise, the construction noise, but it's not too bad actually. It's kind of nice to have people next to me because sometimes it's a little too quiet here, which, I mean, yes, quiet is good, but you know, sometimes it makes it a little too sleepy. Anyway, I'm blabbering on. Good morning, Lisa. I'm glad you're here. I'm going to switch the camera around, and good morning, Janie. So I don't know if I pronounce your name Janie or Janie. I'll have to chat with you privately because I hate mispronouncing names, but I have to figure that one out. So I'm gonna switch my camera around so that we can I can show you my card and stuff. So just give me 1 second. Ooh, there's my view. It's a nice sunny day. It's funny because last week I had to turn the air conditioning on, and last night I had to turn the heat back on because I was so cold. It was so cold in this house, and this morning the heat was still going, and now I've turned the heat off, and I might need to turn the air conditioner back on again. It's a crazy time of year. I hate this hot, cold, and I'm back in a turtleneck again. Last week I think I was wearing a sundress, not on the live video, but like when I went out, and I was like, oh, this is so nice. And now today's like, all right. Okay, I digress. Okay, this is the card we are casing today. I love the layout of this card. I love, you know, this oval and this long skinny piece, and then you've got this little other piece. I think this will be a fairly easy card to case for most of you. I'd love to see what you guys do with that one. This is what I did with it. I use Bella and Friends. It's a really cute stamp set. Hi, Mary. Hi, Cheryl. This is a really it's quite an easy card to make because the stamps really do all the work. But you know, this is just a cute stamp set. I don't think you can stamp a bad card with a stamp set. But I love how, you know, I've just added a few little hearts to my theme. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. So it's I will just show you how to make this card. So let me put this aside. Let me put my catalog aside. Let's do the die cutting first, the die cutting embossing first. So I'm going to bring in my big shot here, and I've kind of got everything already stacked. We are using the Layering Ovals framelets. I love these guys. They have scallops and smooth. So I'm using the 3rd largest smooth oval and the 2nd largest scallop oval on there. Then I'm going to use a Sweet and Sassy framelets. So these are the Sweet and Sassy framelets, and I'm using one of the smallest hearts out of there as well. So those are the dies I'm using. So when I cut glimmer paper, this is the Blushing Bride glimmer paper. When I cut glimmer paper, I always cut it from the back side. Sometimes when you cut it from the front, it cuts some of the glimmer away. You get like not a nice result. So if you're having trouble with your cutting glimmer paper, try going in from the back. So I'm flipping that around. And let me just stick that down. And then this is soft suede right here up the top with my scallop oval, and I'm using very vanilla for my smooth oval. And I've got my Big Shot platform plus the thin die adapter on here, and I'm just putting my second cutting plate on top, and let me run that through. Okay, so we've got the little heart, the oval, and we've got the scallop oval. So we need to do one more thing. Let me take off all of these pieces. And let me scoot this back over this way. We need to emboss the layer, this layer right here. And I don't know, I think this Seaside embossing folder kind of looks like an animal print too. So I kind of got an animal vibe off of it. So that's why I chose it for this. And we don't have any current heart embossing folders, or we might have one, but it's retiring. So I thought I would use Seaside because it's carrying over. And so to do the embossing, you'll need your Big Shot platform without the thin die adapter. You'll need a cutting plate. You'll need your embossing folder. I've got a piece of very vanilla here, and this piece is 4 inches by 5¼ inches. So I'm just going to put that inside my folder, and then I'm going to put my other cutting plate on top. Make sure with these bigger embossing folders that you have everything straight so it doesn't catch later on when you're going through here, because sometimes your embossing folder will want to shift a little bit. And if that happens, like if it gets stuck right here because your plates are crooked, just roll it back out, then straighten it and go through one more time. All right, so here's the magic of embossing. I love embossing. Just a quick result with minimal effort. All right, so I've got my oval, and we need to do some stamping. I'm going to use little this little guy right here. And originally when I stamped this, I stamped it in Memento Tuxedo Black. If you have trouble with bleeding with this one, because this one's actually a water-based ink, use the basic black, the Stampin' Up! Basic Black. I sometimes need to heat set that one, so I'm gonna muddle through with Memento. It's it doesn't make your stamps as black and permanently stained, so I kind of like that a little better, but the Stampin' Up! Black is better for watercoloring actually. But I'm just gonna stamp little Bella on there like that. Then I took my aqua painter and I took a crumb cake because even though we're using soft suede coloring in our card, soft suede is pretty dark, so you'd have to water it down a lot. I can work with crumb cake a little easier, so I'm going to squeeze my ink pad a little bit. I also took a little bit of my re-inker and put it on there. That's one of the reasons I always buy re-inkers with my ink pads. I always do, because I don't want to ever not have enough ink to do watercoloring or have my ink pad go dry, because sometimes I will stamp, you know, like 20 of one image, and if it's a bold image, that really takes a lot of ink off your ink pad. This is my aqua painter. I'm going to squeeze it a little bit. I want to make sure I've got water coming through, and then I always take a tissue or a paper towel and I have it with me while I'm watercoloring. So I've got a pool of ink right here. It's pretty light, so I'm going to add some of my ink refill and just make sure that's not too wet. Okay, I'll start with the tail because if I have trouble with it being too dark, at least it's going to be on the tail, not in the middle of my body or something like that. And then I'm going to go on the sides. And I have to be careful because I used Memento ink. I cannot really go over top of the black too much, so I have to kind of avoid that area. But if you use the Stampin' Up! Black, you'll be better off. Just make sure you heat set it first. Someone said something. Oh, hello, Janine. Oh, she says she can't watch right now, but she's going to watch later. Okay, well, I'm so glad you'll get a chance to watch later. I'm sorry we can't chat this morning. So I am just coming in. I'm just kind of working around the eyes, the nose, the eyebrows. Do dogs have eyebrows? I don't know if they have eyebrows, but this little dog does. So they kind of have maybe like a dark area where our eyebrows would be. I think I got most of them. You can go back. You can do a better job than me. You can darken certain areas, like leave certain areas lighter, darker. I just kind of wanted like a brown dog, you know, not too complicated. I just wanted it to, you know, match kind of my background. And so that's pretty good with the crumb cake. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to just leave that as is. And then we need to squeeze the crumb cake away, get some clear water running through there. And now I'm going to take my Blushing Bride, squeeze the lid. So we get that little pool down here. Make sure this is fairly dry. And then I'm just going to come in and do the collar. And I'm going to do the little heart down here. And if you have the markers, you could use the markers for these little tiny areas because that's kind of better for like a small area if you just want intense. I'm just going to try and make that as dark as I can with my aqua painter. I'm going to leave the bone just white. And so that's it for the watercoloring. Pretty quick and easy. We need to do this piece now. This piece coming down here vertically. This is Blushing Bride, and I've cut this piece to 1 3/4 inches by 4.5 inches. So I kind of need to know where to stamp everything. So I'm just going to put my oval on top in the center, and I'm going to stamp everything on this piece in soft suede. Oh, Mary wrote me a comment. She says, oh, your chocolate lab is getting gray fur. Yeah, I know they get gray, just like me. But what I do is I put highlights in my hair and I pretend the gray are just like silver embellishments for my hair. It's kind of fun. What does Lisa say? Lisa says, oh, Lisa asks, do we have to post cards today or does the challenge go all week? You can post your cards all week, and you can even go back and do past challenges. It's kind of nice if you can do the challenge the week of, but people post all week because, you know, it does take a little bit of time sometimes to, you know, think about the card, think about the layout, think about the colors, you know, what you want to change, what you want to keep. And so, yeah, like take all week and post your cards. It's most relevant if you post it that week, like any time during the week before the next Tuesday. But I see people going back and doing the old challenges, and that's great. I like to see, you know, people doing the older cards as well. So yeah, just feel free to post it anytime during the week. So anyway, that was just, that's a really good question because I'm sure other people are like, oh, I don't have time to do it today. You know, I go back, I missed a couple, and I had to comment today when I posted my card because I saw that I had missed a couple from last week. So yeah, even my commenting sometimes is a little slow. So just post your cards. We want to see them. I've got the thank you stamp, this little one that says thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm going to ink this up in soft suede and hopefully stamp it straight right underneath little Bella there. pretty good. And then I've taken the little heart. So Bella and Friends doesn't have a little tiny heart, and I was like, what do I use? And I figure most people have a little heart stamp somewhere in their stamp set collection if you've been stamping a while. If you don't have one, I love this labeler alphabet because you can create your own greetings as well with it, but it has a little heart in it. So I stole the little heart from there to, you know, just so I'd have something to stamp up here. Because right now we don't have as many current embellishments because we're in catalog transition, catalog flux. And I try to always use current Stampin' Up! Products because I don't want anyone not to be able to get the products that I'm showing here. So I'm kind of creating a stamped embellishment, so to speak. So I'm just going to ink up this little guy in soft suede and stamp him right above here. And then I'm going to ink him up again and stamp right to the side, ink again, and stamp to the other side. So that just creates the, you know, the little 3 hearts up on the top. So basically now we have all the pieces that we need for this card. We need a card base. And this is a soft suede, and I've cut this piece to 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches, and I scored it in half at the 5 1/2 inch mark. So you just fold, and let me grab a bone folder and smooth down that fold. So to glue this on, you could use different things to put this on. Like you could use fast fuse, or you can use tear and tape. I like to use Tombow because it's fast. So I'm just going to put some Tombow on the back of here and just glue it to the front of my card, centered. And like that. Then I'm going to take my Blushing Bride piece, and this one is also centered. That's pretty easy to get down. Shove it up a little bit. Okay, I'm too much of a perfectionist. There we go. Now we need to glue these two together first. Let's do a little bit of Tombow on the back of here. Make sure this is centered because there's just a itty bitty tiny bit of scallops showing, so it really needs to be centered properly. Then I'm just going to put Tombow on the center part because these are probably not going to touch down so much on the very vanilla, but as long as I've got it stamped or glued to the center, that looks pretty good. And then finally we've just got, hello Laura, I've got my little Blushing Bride heart right here, and I'm going to use a dimensional with that. Oh, I don't need 2 dimensionals, it's a small heart. And just pop that on the back like that. And then you can just put the heart on wherever you think, kind of over on the side. And there you go. I mean, this was not a hard card to do. I think it's a fairly doable layout. It's not it's a more of a traditional layout than we've done in the past few weeks, so I think it's something that you can work with really easily. I hope you will join us over on our Facebook group. Let me turn this around, unscrew this. Okay, let me turn myself around again. Let me screw this back on here. So if you want to join us on our Casing Tuesday Facebook group after I finish filming this video, I am going to post a link in the description of this video that you can click on, and it will take you directly to the group, and you can ask to join it, and sometime today Catalina or I will approve you, and then you can join in and you can show us what you can do with this layout or this card. You know, copy things from it, you know, it can be the layout, whatever. Change something about it, make it your own, and then you can share it with us. If you like the products like Bella and Friends or the Seaside Embossing folder, if you like the products that you saw today, you can order them from my website. I did not put up my blog today, but it's cubiesquest.com. I will also put that in my in the description of this video, so you can just go there and there will be a complete supply list and it will show you everything. You can click on the list and you can find out more about all the different products. Is there anything else I need to tell you? Oh yes, and I also have the measurements on my blog. If you didn't catch what I was saying, if you want to know the measurements of my card, you can go see that on my blog. And there's also photos of these cards, so if you just want to see a photo of the card and a photo of the card that we are casing. So yeah, please please join our group, and I love seeing your creations every week. It's really kind of fun. Does anyone have any questions? I am going to sit here for a few seconds and see if anyone has a question for me. Today, what am I going to do for the rest of the day? I just got out all of my catalogs for my customers yesterday, and I have some more to do. I have to email some more customers and see if they need catalogs, but they are out of the house, and hopefully they'll get to everyone this week. What else have I been doing? I will have another video tutorial later this week. We're going to be, I'll show you how to make this little box using the envelope punch board. That is on the docket for later, and just kind of more ramping up for the new catalog. Right now it's kind of, you know, a dead time. I shouldn't say dead, but it's hard for us because it's a time where we're in between catalogs. So some of the products that we would be showcasing are retired, and some of them have already sold out. So it's hard to do tutorials right now because I'm kind of like, you know, what do I show you? And I don't like to show new product too far in advance. So those videos with the new catalog, I will start showing those next week once you can actually purchase from the catalog, and I will show some of my things that I've been working on then. But for now, we're just working with what we have with the current catalog. There's still lots of cool things that we can do. The Eastern Palace suite is really neat, and actually that's what I'm going to be using for my tutorial later this week. So I do not have any other things to say. And I don't see any other questions. And so I will sign off right now. And thank you so much for joining me. And I will be doing another Casing Tuesday next Tuesday. It will be, I guess we have Memorial Day on Monday if you're in the US. And I will be back here on Tuesday to show you my card. I have no idea what I'm doing next week, but I got to get it. I've got to get working on that so I have it ready. So have a great day, everyone. I hope you have a fabulous week. Until next week, bye-bye.